because it's $30, I'm just going to throw this away. But I'm going to put this somewhere, like near a hotspot, near an airport, hide it. It will last about 20 hours. And what this device does is it sits on the, it scans for wireless networks around the area, and it has a table. If someone goes to Gmail, if they go to Facebook, if they go to a bank, in my list, what happens is my device responds to their request faster than the real site. So I can inject, right? I can inject JavaScript into their browser to be a keylogger, right? So this kind of cool device can sit out there and be my phishing device, and the victim is never going to know. How are they going to know? Was it the real server that responded, or was it the pocket fisherman? A great way, a new innovative way that criminals are going to steal credentials. Kind of cool, 30 bucks, throw away. Is it worth 30 bucks to steal a whole bunch of credit card numbers? Of course, for the criminals, right? On sale for $39.95 at mitnick.com. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we don't sell those things. Now, everybody's heard of malware, right? Short for malicious code. So what are the forms? Trojan horse, right? Worm, virus, right? Now, in every type of malware attack, there's an infection method, you know, propagation. How does it propagate? And what's the payload? Well, why it's relevant to my discussion today is the propagation mechanism for most malware is social engineering, tricking somebody into doing something they think is going to help them, but actually hurts them in the end. So, by the way, could you put my Dell and my Mac up at the same time? I want to show something. So, my question to you, if you're walking in your office, or even on the street near your home, you get out of your car, you're riding your bike, you know, you're at the university, and you spot on the ground like a USB drive. It might be cool, it might be like 1 gig, 2 gig, worth 20 bucks, 40 real, whatever. I mean, what would you do with it? Would you like plug it in because you want to check out the cool pics someone might have left on it? Or would you just erase what's on there and just leverage it for your own use? So, I want to show you what happens when you plug in Kevin Mitnick's USB drive that you find on the ground. Because, you know, it's really cool. And by the way, like after the conference today, I have my presentation on USB drive for all of you. Oh, let me show you. You want it. Come on. You want it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use remote desktop and connect to a system in Salt Lake City, Utah. Because I didn't want to bring like 10 laptops here. Hopefully it will connect. This is a 2008 server. And this is the attacker. Up here on the left screen. Where's my device? This is the attacker. This is another Windows 2. This is Windows 2008. Believe me, we don't run Windows on the Mac unless it's in VMware Parallels or Bootcamp. So this is 2008 box sitting in Utah. This is a Dell sitting right there. So, because Windows is my favorite operating system, we'll use that as the victim. So USB drive, you find on the floor. So let's see what happens. This is the attacker. He's waiting for some gullible person to plug it in. So let's see what happens. So we plug it in. And how this works is Windows by default has a feature called auto run. And you can buy USB drives that actually leverages feature like when you put in your CD. So what I did here, as soon as the victim plugged in my drive, it ran code that basically did a reverse VNC connection of this Dell to this system here in the States. It's kind of visual, right? Because real malware doesn't work that way. It downloads a Trojan and there's different ways of connecting that's kind of covert. This is kind of for an audience, right? But it gives you a good idea of how this works. So if I'm surfing here on the internet, let's see here, there's a good place to go to. If I go to like CNN.com, there's some latency issues, but you can see on this, on this system here in Utah, it's like the invisible man is behind you watching every move you make. It's like that song by The Police, watching every move you make. Okay? So, what does that tell you? You have to be careful when you plug in media, be CD, DVD, or any type of media from untrusted sources.